Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that? Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Wanting to book us for your show? It could be an expo. It could be any type of women's event. Contact Miller Booking Agency at mail.com. We're looking forward to meeting and greeting with you. Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that? Hello, mothers and daughters. Thank you for listening to the show today. I've got an exciting guest. You know, we've been having a lot of fun with the guest shows, and I've got a good one for you today because I believe that you're going to learn something that you had no idea about, people you had no idea about, opportunities that you had no idea about that were happening in certain communities. And so, you know, with our group, you guys know that we love to bring you things that you have no clue on, but you want to know more about. So I always use that term, get into it and get to, know what's going on. And so today, my special guest, and she is very special because she's here with me and gracing us with her presence. Her name is Sheena Yap Chan, and she's going to talk about a lot of women who are in podcasting. And they are of the Asian community. And our group here is so diverse that we want to know about everybody and everything on the planet. Thank you and welcome for coming.
Hey, Miss Dawn, thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be here today to just, share what I do.
Absolutely. So let's get into what you do. But the first thing I want to talk about is I saw you holding a book on one of your pictures, and it said something about Asian women who gossip. Let's get into it.
So it's a book. It's called Asian Women Who Boss Up. So it's right here if for those who could see the video. So this is actually part of a book series that we started out of the pandemic called Women Who Boss Up.
I love it.
Since we've started, we have 7 books that we've launched. We have 3 more launching out this year. And then we're working on our 11th book, which has been really crazy. We also had our first.
Is it like a collaborative effort where there's just a lot of women that are in podcasting and other?
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort. people don't realize that, 75% of readers are women.
Yes.
And there's not a lot of media out there for women, by women, even more so women of color, because we're so underrepresented. And, we are missing a lot of women mentors. So creating these books are so powerful because now they can have the mentors that they want, right? They can
Oh
read
my
their
God.
stories, they can see what
I
they've
love
been
it.
through, and able to overcome it and realize if she could do it, then so can I. And so this is why it was
And
so
that's
important
the
to create this
thing.
kind of media. Yeah, we want it to be
That's
like the
right.
chicken noodle soup of the soul for women entrepreneurs. And
I
so
love that. I love
yeah, we
that.
have different themes, not just Asian. We have women of color,
Yeah.
Latinas,
Yes.
moms, health and
Yes.
wellness, post pandemic. So we have very different themes and very diverse authors.
Oh man, I love that. And see, I didn't know that. I just saw the book that said, Asian women who boss up. And I thought, oh, so she's got a book. I'm like, I got
Yeah.
excited because we do a lot of, on Fridays, we do a lot of reviews for books and products and everything pertaining to what women are doing. And when I saw that, I got really excited because I'm an author as well. So I know, having a book, it just kind of like lays it out there better than what you can just kind of tell people a whole bunch of things where they could just get a book and digest it at their own time. What
Yeah.
made you start your Instagram page?
Well, for me, representation is very important.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. Oh, yeah.
in 2015, I started my own podcast, which is this one, the Tao of Self Confidence, where I
Uh-huh.
interview Asian women about their journey to self confidence. And
Yeah.
back then, there was no Asian people really podcasting.
Mhm.
I really wanted to create like a stronger representation for Asian women because we've been seen by our negative stereotypes.
Right.
I also wanted to provide a support system because we go through so much, right? We go through so much mental health issues, not feeling
Mhm.
good enough, second guessing
Mhm.
ourselves, not being able to make a decision. And
Mhm.
so being able to share these stories, being able to be vulnerable has helped the listeners realize everyone goes through this, right? It's just our culture always tells us never to talk about the things that we go through. They tell us to keep everything inside, suppress it. And then that's when we
True.
go through so many issues.
True. And it's so funny that you said that, and not funny as in haha, but just the way I can relate to what you just said about the, women of color, what you said about don't talk about it, keep it a secret. What you talk about is like not having a support system and things like that. And so for me, when I started podcasting, not this particular show, but I had a podcast before for business owners. And the one thing in 2014, 2015 is that there wasn't a lot of representation just for women, period, because it was thought to be almost like it was a man's market. And every successful guy that you heard was, earning $10,000 a month or had the big sponsors or was on tour because he had a podcast, it was always a he. And so then you start to see a lot of women start being sprinkled into it. And I was just like, I like staying in this space because it gives representation for women. It gives
Yeah.
representation for women who look like me, who, want to know things that I know. But then also it gives me an opportunity to connect with women like yourself that can say, hey, I've also got a whole nother group of women that we can all partnership and collaborate on who knows what. I'm in Texas, you're in Canada, but guess what? We have the internet. And so since we have the internet, we can really connect in that type of way. Tell me a little bit about some of the women that are podcasting. Like, what are some of the shows? Like, what are some of the topics? Because, we women are so diverse. We can talk about any and everything we go through and have
Yeah.
seen and have done so many things. What are some of the podcasts that you have on you? Now, of course, I know, but tell it to some of the listeners because I've already done my homework, but I got excited
Yeah.
about it.
We have different, I started the Instagram page, Asian Women in Podcasting, just because I really wanted to highlight Asian women who are podcasting, right?
Right.
And of course, there's different themes, right? There's women who talk about mental health, women who talk about, like a crime podcast, right? Like one of those
Right.
fictional crime podcasts.
Right.
Some of them, just want to elevate their own people, right? Like, South
Absolutely.
Asians, things like that. So very diverse, very different topics. If you go on Instagram and check out Asian women in podcasting, you can
Mhm.
see like, there's a whole list of Asian women podcasting.
Yes.
And so one of the reasons why I started that was because I was trying to find other Asian people podcasting. And when I would Google something, like there was nothing out there. And
Right.
if they did, it was just like 5 of them. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm sure there's more than 5, right? And so
Exactly.
that's why I started it. Yeah.
And
I
and the
just really
good thing,
wanted, yeah.
yeah, and the good thing about that is once you find those 5, and then you ask those 5 if they know 5. I mean, that's then how it grows like a weed because
Yeah.
you think you're like, okay, I feel like I'm alone. Okay, no, I found 5. Okay, wait a minute, those 5 at least know one person. So now we have 10, and they at least know one person. Now we have 15. So that really, kind of the way I think that it really grows. Are you working on any books right now as far as new topics?
Yeah, we're always working on the book series, because this is something that we're always building on, expanding. We're doing in-person events. We did a book tour earlier this year. We also had our first in-person conference. So,
Love it.
we're always looking for authors who want to learn more about that. Who'd want to, be seen as a businesswoman, be taken seriously, because in business, one thing women aren't, they're not taken seriously in their businesses, especially even more so women of color. And so we want them to be seen as, we're serious, right? They're going to boss up. They're going to go out there and make things happen. And, you don't have to do everything alone. You may be in business for yourself, but you don't have to be in business by yourself.
Exactly. And when you've got people behind you that are just as excited about what they do and motivated and are willing to help you, give you a hand up. I mean, I think that it's really a good connection. Well, think of me the next time you have a series. I'd love to be a part of it.
Sure.
That's really awesome. So I know you said you're currently in Canada. Are there a lot of women, Asian women that are podcasting that actually are in Canada? Because I know with the internet, we can be anywhere in the world, but do you ever have some that you can like link up together and see face to face?
Well, I know there are some, but we haven't linked up and seen each other face to face, just
Okay.
because, schedules are crazy, especially
Right.
summertime. Everyone wants to
And
like
we're
make
just kind
plans,
of
go
getting a
out.
little bit over the COVID. Yeah.
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 And then winter, nobody wants to step out. It's too cold.
Cold. You're right about that. And I know in Canada it gets very cold. Of course, in Texas here, we don't get a whole lot of action, but even
Yeah.
I don't like the winter in anywhere. I'm kind of a summer girl. I like the heat as well. Was there anything else you'd like to share with us about your Asian Women in Podcasting or your Asian Women Boss Up book series, or anything you'd like to let us know? Because we want to know how we can get people to connect with what you're doing. We want people to know that they don't have to be shy about connecting with
Yeah.
other, people. It doesn't matter if they don't look like you, doesn't matter if they're not talking about where you're talking about. Like I have a lot of people on our Instagram page that do like gossip shows, and they're like, I don't look at reality show TVs, I don't look at a lot of the gossip shows, but I like the individuals who are doing the shows and everything. And it's like, hey, I let them know, let's all support one another, because you're doing something different than what I'm doing, but I want to support what you're doing. So how can we
Yeah.
support what you're doing?
Yeah, for sure. Like I mentioned, we are always working on the books, and we're currently looking for authors, female authors who want to boss up, who want to be, featured in a book.
Mhm.
They can connect with me. I'm sure you'll give them all the contact
Absolutely.
info. Even if
Absolutely.
you search my name, Sheena Yap Chan, I'm like the only Sheena Yap Chan on the internet, so I'm not hard to
Yeah.
find. You can send an email, you can send a note, you can DM me, asking, hey, I was on the podcast, I heard your podcast interview, and you mentioned you're looking for authors. I'd love to know more. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
because
we put,
this is a movement that we're creating, right? Like it's definitely needed.
absolutely.
Especially after the pandemic, women were negatively affected by the pandemic. Globally, we lost over $800 billion. I know in the States, in the month of December, there was 100% job loss in December of 2020. Even here in Canada, women lost their jobs 10,000 or 100 times more than men. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's important to create a movement to show others what's possible, to have more mentors, to be taken seriously, so that we can make an impact. I believe women are, the key to make this world a better place, right?
I
You
agree.
always hear that saying, behind every successful man is a woman who's
Yeah.
running behind the scenes, making sure everything's okay, so that he can go out there and do the things that he's supposed to. So,
You're
without
so
the women
right.
in their life, to be honest, they wouldn't be where they are today. And that I'm just being honest.
Yeah. And you know what? I love that you said that, because, when me and my daughter started the podcast, the first thing we said is, we always hear this thing about women are the future. And I'm like, we heard that 5 or 6 years ago. This is the future now. So if we're going to be the women of the future, then we have to be equipped. We have to be powered. We have to be connected to other women to make things happen. That's why when we decided to create our podcast, we said we want to create a podcast that literally will support every woman on planet Earth. So, we called it Mothers and Daughters, because you're either a mother to a daughter, or you are a daughter. If you're a woman, you're somebody's daughter. So we want to be able to empower them through letting them know about tools they can use, letting them know about people they can connect to, letting them know about support systems. And for those who love, like me, who love to listen to podcasts, you can get messages from so many different types of people. And I don't think that we should steer away from that. I think that we should be more curious to find out what's happening over here, what's going on with them, connecting with so many different types of women, because I really feel like that's what builds us and that's what makes us stronger. And that's what gives us knowledge that we can help other people with as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's so needed. The more resources, the better. There's no such thing as competition. We're all in this together.
Exactly.
Because I know sometimes women can get catty, right, with each
Yeah.
other. So,
Yeah.
I mean, now's not the time to be doing that. Now's the time to work together and make things happen. Because the pandemic also set us back a couple steps or generations, right?
Yes.
So now
Yes.
we have to work harder. And, they're
To
saying
move
that it's going to
forward.
take they're saying it's going to take like another 130 years to achieve gender parity, and nobody wants to wait that long.
Well, and not only that, you have to think about it. We've got to, what's a good word to use? We've got to increase our skills now, because a lot of women were literally in the house. And I know people right now that are just like, you know what, I'm just going to wait until after December and start getting out and networking and traveling and connecting. And, they're not really motivated to do something on the computer, because it's like they feel almost like they don't have the technology, knowledge that they need. And I'm just like, if you don't have those tools, that's the perfect reason to connect with other women, so that if you don't know how to get online and do something, somebody can say, okay, do this, do that, go here, go there. Somebody who can walk you through it step by step, and get the knowledge that you need. Like the first thing I did, I'll tell you, the first thing I did when we opened up our Instagram page, the first thing I did was just started looking for women in business. Start looking for women who were podcasting. I just started looking for women, and that's how I ended up coming across your page. And I went, this is interesting. And that's the type of things that I love to literally talk about, is anything that's interesting to me. I feel like there's got to be somebody else who's going to be interested in this. And so that's why I'm so thankful that you allowed me to get a chance to know you and to introduce you to our listeners as well. So thank you so much for being on the show today. Is there anything you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, for sure. For anyone who's interested in buying a copy of the book, Asian Women Who Boss Up, they can go to my website, sheenayapchan.com.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, if you want to learn more about being a potential author in our book series, just feel free to reach out to me. You can also send a message through my website. You can also look up Sheena Yap Chan. All my handles are Sheena Yap Chan. You can check out the podcast.
SHEENA, Yap, YAP, Chan, CHAN. Because at first when I saw the name, I thought it was one E, and I said, no, there's two E's, SHEENA. So I like that you made it different, because when you Google, you come up and not 10 other people.
Yeah, I'm the only one. I'm the only Sheena Yap Chan on the internet. So that's one good thing too.
That's what I love about my name, is I'm the only Don Fobbs on the internet. So it's like, you can pull up the name. It's going to be me. Don't worry.
Yeah. And then if you'd like to check out the podcast, you can check out the Tao of Self Confidence on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, or you can go to the website, thetaoofselfconfidence.com.
Awesome. Do you also have it on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be under the same name on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So those of you that are looking at us on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to her podcast. Make sure that you hit her notification bell so that you can know when she has new shows coming out. But we thank you for being here to listen to us. And for those of you that are listening to us on audio, please go over to the YouTube channel so you can see her beautiful face and you can see the copy of her book, and so that you can get a little bit more into what we're saying. I know you guys love to listen on audio, but on YouTube is definitely where it's at. And we're at Mother Daughter Ish, and that's Mother Daughter Ish on YouTube, Mother Daughter Ish _ on Instagram. Thank you for supporting the show. And for those of you that want to monetarily support it, it's $MDI podcast. Make sure you find out more about Sheena Yap Chan. That's SHEENA, Yap, YAP, and Chan, CHAN. Check her out on YouTube, check her out on Instagram, and all of the places that you love to listen to your podcast. Thanks for listening today, and bye for now. Bye. Sheena. Bye.
Thank you. Is it okay now, or?
Yeah, we're gonna end it now. All right, thank you.
All right, have a nice day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that? Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that?